Welcome to Bloke on the Range. We're once again back at Kudu for some more comparative shooting, and this time we're doing French service revolvers. One official and one
substitute standard.
Substitute standard, yes. Here I have the 1892. This one is dated 1903, so relatively early one. This was replacing the French 1873 standard service revolver in the 11mm black powder. So they were going smokeless and chambered for the tiny 8mm M92 cartridge, not 8mm Lebel.
No matter what CIP says.
Exactly. Well, videos about this all over, but needs to say it's swing out cylinder, swing out to the right, convenient for me, and still conserves the Aberdeen system, although I'm not sure why.
Useless Aberdeen system. But why? What purpose does an Aberdeen system on a swing out cylinder serve?
Yeah. So if I illustrate the point, the cylinder here is free to swing out, and I can still empty
Aberdeen it
for no reason whatsoever, because there's no extractor rod, because it's got a collective.
And it also doesn't serve as a useful safety, because what the Aberdeen lever does here is it serves as the cylinder release. So if you were to pull this back as a safety to carry, well, this is going to get jolted around in your pocket, and then when you need it, you pull the revolver out the holster, try and flip up the lever, and you can't because your cylinder's in the way.
Yeah, exactly. When it's out of access, you can't put it in. So. But
someone behind a desk thought that was a good idea.
Yeah, I don't know why. Anyway, you want to say a bit about yours?
I was just going to say that this has sights very much of its era with a nice bead.
Yes,
on the front.
You can see that. Rear notch is this funny gaping valley, and then a little tiny U-notch, which is hard work to line up. But
for target shooting, but we'll see when we're shooting fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then basically by World War I there weren't enough of them, so the French government contracted to the Spanish knockoff merchants in the Eibar Valley, and this is the substitute standard, the Modèle 92 Espagnol, and I have to say that in French, not Swiss French, otherwise people will start tapping angry comments in the bottom. It's not 92, it's 92. So Model 92 Spanish. This is a knockoff, quite obviously, of a Smith Wesson M&P. I have a real one here for comparison. Qualitatively, there's no comparison. I mean, it's the joke that they're hammered out of scrap railings. It's not far from the truth. Now, the lockwork is quite interesting because they didn't copy the fine and fiddly lockwork of a Smith & Wesson. They went for something a bit more cult-like with a couple of their own little things. It's typical continental style. I mean, a lot of the Belgian revolvers have got very similar arrangements in there. It's a single V-spring hammered out of old bed springs, I don't know. The metal is true, the metal is very, very soft. The screws are very, very soft. I had this apart for some photography back in the day, and you've got to be really, really careful with the screws and the side plate. A previous owner has even managed to deform the side plate slightly by trying to knock it back in. It's force fitted. The Smith & Wessons are all very finely fitted, so that you just give them a little tap and they go in. But it's
part time for that kind of thing.
The side plate on these designs is actually part of the structural strength of the revolver, so it needs to fit tight. Here they went for soft steel and brute force. Smith & Wesson, they went for harder steel and more fine fitting. Sights on this are Smith & Wesson Half Moon. It also suffers from the standard Smith & Wesson of the era issue of, in double action, the hammer spur partly obscures the sights. It's the era of single action shooting, but frankly, conscripts in the war, you're not going to be cocky. It's going to be fast double action shooting. So we're going to do some of that at all of 10 meters on that IPSC target. Both of us are going to fire a cylinder full of ammunition, which is your hand loads with what in them?
So these are not Fiocchi, the Fiocchi cases, and they are 111 grain lead bullets. They are 0.327 diameter, and they come from Bal Europe, which is a French company that makes, amongst others, this bullet specifically for the French revolver. So they're a bit lighter than the originals, which were jacketed and 120 grain. And they have, what are they called now? Not Lebel, Vectan. Yes, Vectan A1 powder, 0.24 grams. It's a French load.
I'll have to put what that is in real money down the bottom.
And the original put out, was it 740 feet per second? These ones, honestly, I have no idea.
He loaded them for effect on target.
Yeah.
I'm on a real roll for original bullet weight, original velocity, and to be honest, that normally means with a revolver they shoot to the sights, which is good.
These aren't too bad. No. Basically, for this weird diameter, you don't really have too much choice unless you get your.
There's H&N do a 325 high speed, which is copper plated and plastic coated over the copper plating. They run a bit light. They run 95 grains, if I remember rightly. So they tend to shoot quite low. With loads in those, replicating the original velocity, if not the original bullet weight, at 50 meters I have to aim at the top of the target. But these were never intended to be shot at 50 meters. They're cheap conscript bang things.
The other ones aren't cheap, but they're still conscript bang things.
Okay, so let's see how
we do.
Good or bad this is, and we'll wrap it up afterwards.
Sorry, click, click, this revolver. Right. Miscounted there.
Just count your fingers, like normal people.
Yeah, but yeah, that makes 7. Worked as intended. Well, they're all there.
Yep.
All right.
What did you forget?
Nothing.
Outtakes.
What?
Sorry.
What? No. I mean, yes, I forgot them, but luckily, these are little teeny loads. Okay. It's on the wrong side.
It's on the correct side.
Huh. Same.
9 hits. Less hits this time.
Less hits. One there. Yeah. All right.
My go.
You go.
It's the wrong way, Gromit.
Rightist.
Oh, that's stiff.
Oh, yes. All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6.
6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, one off.
One off.
Ah,
Happens to the best of them.
from that one. Oh, I've got my pre-prepared excuses, don't worry. Okay, so I'll start this time. That is the first time I have ever fired a live round out of a Model 92. It was alright actually. The loads are actually spicier than I was expecting. I mean, they're not 38 special, but compared to the 7.5 Swiss we've just been shooting before, they're kind of chunky. They're heavier bullets going faster. Oh, in fact, no, those are the same bullet weight, but they're going 100 feet per second faster. The sights with the bead, they're, for me, for fast shooting, they're okay. The double action is kind of okay. The grip is kind of okay. Swinging the cylinder out and ejecting is kind of stiff, but that's not really a function of actually shooting it. Actually, it was all right. Generally, it comes up. It points fairly. You'd expect that grip to be horrible, but it's not. Actually, it's fairly slightly steep, but not massively so. Not as bad as the 8229 Swiss revolver. Reach the triggers fine. Generally, it's not a Smith & Wesson, and it's not a Webley, but it's fine. Your thoughts?
I concur. Yeah, no, that's it. No, I'm finished. No, it's yeah. I mean, I'm used to it. I've shot it a lot more than him, although not a lot. The grips I find they're great. They fill the hand nicely. I think it's slightly oval as well in the cross section.
Yeah, definitely.
And the trigger is heavy but smooth.
Yep.
And yeah, for me as a lefty, the cylinder's not a problem. And sights also they line up pretty well. And yeah, I really like it.
Okay, we'll move on to the other one. Now I am a Smith. I am pre-programmed for Smith & Wessons. Let's just get that out the way there. So certain things about this for me just feel right. So the grip, it's fine. I mean, I find military Smith and police old style Smith & Wesson grips a bit on the small side, but I shoot them enough that I'm used to them. So for me, this point's fine. The sights are good once they become visible. So once you've started pulling the trigger. But the trigger on this, it's just horrible. It's vile. It stacks like crazy. It's got a longer pull than the French one, and it stacks like crazy at the end. Really, yes, from a manufacturing perspective, going over to that Colt style trigger, but without Colt style finish, yes, fine. But you get massive trigger stall, and you can see the difference on target here, because with the French 92 I'm sort of around here, and with this one I'm pulling them low left, because you get to the end of that trigger and it stacks, and it's almost impossible not to to lose the front sight. So you've got great sights that then you go ugh, because that trigger stacks like it's probably pushing 20 pounds. Massive trigger stack. You can tell when you're operating it that you can tell the manufacturing quality's not there. The cylinder turns actually quite well on its arbor, but everything else about it just.
This one, the manufacturing is great. It's really everything's got a nice click to it. Fitting's good.
Yeah,
the cylinder doesn't.
The cylinder's stiff
and the ejection is also stiff. But
yeah,
again, this was. We're supposed to be carried a lot. Shoot the cylinder now and again, and quick reloads it's possible, but it wasn't the intention.
Yeah, well, the thing is that if quick reloads had been an intention, they'd have at least attempted to issue some kind of speed loaders. The Brits had the Prido loader. I'm not sure if they were officially issued, but lots of people bought them. But then offensive use of the 4.55 revolver in World War I was a thing. It was promoted. They did realistic training. The Continentals, well, not to anywhere near the same degree. Yeah, Overall, this is mine. I like it. I wouldn't want to give it away. But if I had to choose one of them off of a table to go onto a two-way range with, that one.
So the grip for me is also far too thin at the top.
Yeah.
You start your grip at the bottom. You think, oh, fine. Then you close the rest. And where is it? Where's it gone?
But I'm used to that because I shoot this one a lot, and yeah, they are too skinny at the top, but I'm used to it. So I have a sort of muscle memory on it. So there you go. 2 votes pour les Français. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Please consider supporting us on Patreon if you haven't already done so. We're at the awesome range at Coup du Tir in Sion, in Valais, Switzerland. So thanks to them for use of that. But today we've both taken a day off work, and there's an awful lot of money being turned into noise. We're going to have an awful lot of fun to make content for you guys. So please consider throwing a couple of sous in our direction. See you again sometime. Au revoir.
Bye.